do whatever you want. But what you cannot do is get outside your wage. Act accordingly. You making 200K. 200K is good money. That 200K feel real nice until $1 million pull up. There's always going to be somebody that makes more money than you. So don't shit on anybody who makes less than you just because you're feeling big and bad this day.
Hello and welcome back to Care to Elaborate with Taylor and Travarus.
Yo,
Today, we back. We back with another episode. Travarus, tell the people how you doing before I talk about what we're going to talk about.
feel fantastic. The weather feels great to me, but we are coming around, and I think that this is preparing us for the fall weather, which I enjoy. How about you? How you feeling?
Fall is my favorite season. My last name is Falls, so that may have something to do with it. I don't know. But I'm ready to put my stuff on. I'm ready to go spend my paycheck on some clothes. And that brings us to what we're talking about today, Travis. We're
Let's talk
talking
about it.
about this paycheck personality. Do y'all
Mm,
be acting different when y'all get paid?
for sure.
Okay, because
For
some of
sure.
y'all get some money and you forget how to act.
Two things that make a man act up: a new shape up or haircut, and just got paid. If you combine both of them, whoa. If you just got paid and you got a haircut, it's not looking good for the streets.
Wait, somebody I know just got a haircut. All right. Okay. All right. Noted. All that to say, like Travari said, whether it's a new hairstyle, a new shape up, some new clothes, money can buy you happiness. And
For
sometimes
sure.
that happiness can make you just act differently when it comes to interacting with other people. So today we're going to be talking about not only, how money has changed us, but how we've seen money change other people. And also we're going to be diving into some things regarding social media. Now it's so easy to spend your paycheck right when you get it. Like I'll be on TikTok shop immediately at 12:01 after I just got paid at 12 a.m. That's
Facts.
the problem. So we're getting into all of the things today. So make sure you tune in, and I'm
Or
excited. Or
the fake it till you make it. Are you really making that
when
money?
y'all broke.
Are you really making the money that you are portraying yourself to have on social media? And if
Mm.
you are faking it till you make it, why do you feel you have to?
You know what? That's another side of the coin. Cause some
Mhm.
days, some days I got like $200, and I be trying to act like I got 20,000, and that's just not the same
It's a
thing.
mindset. It's a
It's a
mindset. But some
mindset.
people abuse it.
Me. Anyway, let's get into it. So Tavares, I always have to say this, this is a Gen Z millennial podcast. Travaris, like almost 20 years older than me, but whatever, that's all
That's
right. It's
insane.
okay, like 15. That's close. All that to say, what job, when did you get your first real paycheck?
I mean, I said my first big boy job was working at a hospital, working in mental health. And it wasn't much, but I felt accomplished. Like if I'm finally in the game, you know what I mean?
Okay, so that was your first job. Now, what did
Yeah.
you spend your first real paycheck on?
Well, I can tell you exactly what it was. I got an apartment. I needed an apartment,
Well, I
right?
would hope
So,
so.
but like I needed to secure an apartment because as everybody knows, I'm in a frat, right? We were all kind of in the same ball game, whether we graduated and we was like holding it down together. So when I had an apartment and I just didn't like it. So I knew that when I got this job, I was gonna leave this place and go to another place, kind of like upgrade.
Oh, you got a new
So
apartment, not your first apartment.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No, my first apartment was when I was unemployed. But when I got this job that actually paid me a salary, me and my other boy, who was also looking for an apartment, upgraded to something pretty nice. So it was my first apartment was, I mean, my first paycheck was spent putting to the side so I can get the security deposit so I can get up out of my old spot. Yeah.
Responsible. Period. Okay, so you didn't go
Uh-huh.
buy you a watch or some shoes or something. You went and found somewhere to live.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was buying watches and things on my unemployment checks. That's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story. But
Right?
when it was time to get a more bigger lump sum of money, I was responsible with that because I knew that I needed to shift gears in a certain direction. But yeah, I would tell young guys like that again. Like, if I had to choose between a car and an apartment, depending on where I work, I would choose an apartment
For sure.
any day of the
Especially
week.
especially in a big city. Baby, you better take that metro, take the Uber, take the something. Yeah.
Facts.
I'm
And even your
twirling my
social
head.
life. even in your social life, you can't tell people to pull up to the car. People can pull up to the crib. You'll have a game night, watch the game, or you entertain a couple of people. But yeah, I would much rather have prioritize that apartment versus the car.
Got it. Me
Yeah.
too. But the child, my apartment nice. My car, 2013. She still run though.
She's still riding.
Still run, baby. She just took me to Pennsylvania. She will do what she needs to do. Shout out to Sylvia.
How about you? When you got your first paycheck, we were obviously in different spaces, whereas I was on the grind, you are at a much better place than I was post-graduate life. When you got your first paycheck, how did you feel, first of all, and what was your major purchase when you got the bag?
I'm gonna talk about full time. I will say I was getting the bag in my tech internship because they were paying me like $30 an hour, which is
That's
good
fire.
in
That's
Alabama.
fire.
But I'll talk about my full time experience. So my first paycheck was actually my like relocation bonus. And I'll
Mm,
just be honest with y'all, they gave me they could have gave me a little bit more, but they gave me about how much did I get? Or was it my sign on bonus? It was a bonus. It was one of them.
all I'm hearing is cha-ching, cha-ching,
Okay, I had
cha-ching.
about if I recall correctly, I had like $8,000. And
Fire.
in that, what I needed to do, it was Prime Day. It was Amazon Prime Day.
Not you getting paid on Prime Day. That is not good. That
That
is not good.
check hit my account right now. This is they might made it. They took some taxes out, so it was a little bit less than 8,000. But anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
all that to say, it was around Prime Day. I ordered up everything I needed for my apartment. I'm talking about the couch, the TV, the TV stand. I
But
had
this is a
so
good
much.
this is a good point. I think this is a good point to point out.
Okay,
You were living in Alabama.
right
Where was your apartment?
in Virginia,
So you got a relocation bonus to move to Virginia,
closer to work. Yes,
close to the work. So that part is important. So not only you're not just blowing money on like skincare on Amazon, you are blowing money on the essentials for
for
your
sure.
apartment. Yeah,
Yes, and that's always been my thing, like, trust. Now trust, y'all, I got a shopping problem. I will shop till I drop, I ain't gonna lie. But in this instance, I knew that with that money and I also it costs a lot to move. So if you are listening to
for
this and you're
sure.
like, in that new grad era, or even if you're not, you're just like moving out for the first time, just know whatever you think you're gonna need to spend, double it. Double it. Because if you really want something that's gonna be good quality, number 1, it's gonna cost more. Number 2, you have to sometimes account for, like, the shipping and the setup fees. Oftentimes, you think you need something and you may need a bigger size. Like, it's just always something. There's always
Always
gonna be
something.
more. So, make sure you got double what you think. But in all that, I bought so much stuff off of Amazon that the people at my apartment at the time, I hadn't, like, driven up here yet, but they called me and they were like, "You cannot order anything else. We don't have anywhere else to store it." They were like, "We had to literally take your packages and move them into your apartment for you, and we're not supposed to do that."
That's
I was
actually
like,
fire for real.
"Yeah,
Like
shout out to
one
them."
less thing for you to do.
Yeah, okay, and shout out to them for moving this because when I walked in that apartment for the first time, they had all my boxes stacked up. Thank you.
I
Yeah.
love it. So, all right. So we're both responsible in terms of what we were doing with our funds when we first got it. Taking a small pivot, when did it get irresponsible for you, or did it?
I would say I was responsible for like the first 6 months ish, first
Okay.
yes, like of my job because hence what I said, like I had the money and even in having the money, also moving from somewhere that's like low cost of living to somewhere that's high cost of living,
Yeah,
that
not even
is
medium.
that
From
shit is night and day. I was like and also I'm like, I'm not used to having to consistently buy things for myself all the time. Like I used to be able to go home and like raid my mama's, pantry or like
yeah,
steal her trash bags or like ask
that's
them to take me
dumb.
to Costco. After they took me to Costco that first time they helped me move in, there ain't no more taking me to Costco after. So for me, like I tried to be really cognizant of how I was spending those first 6 months. I was stretching that. There was times where the check was being stretched. But I would say after that, after I got like comfortable in having enough stuff for my apartment and like really setting myself up, I got a little more frivolous, which I should not have.
It's very easy to do so.
For
You remember
sure.
you talk about making the money stretch. I can think about days where, granted, the first couple jobs I had were not adequately time me over so I can have all of my expenses paid. I was robbing Peter to pay Paul for sure. I had the essentials, which were my apartment, utilities covered, right? Everything else, get it how you live. But there were times where like you blow your money in the first 4 days and you got eight more days. What is no? You got 10 more days
Them on
before
there.
you get paid again. And you got 100 to stretch over that 10 days or even 80. There's been times where I had $20 to stretch for 5 days. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? And then Friday hit again and you roll the dice one more
Gone,
time.
gone.
If you didn't learn your lesson from the last time. And I think that paycheck personality can really begin to take a can help take form depending on how much money you're bringing in. If you're not bringing in a lot of money in, you're humble because you know you can't do a lot, right?
Mm,
But if you are bringing 100, 200K at 25,
right.
right? Like I can see how that can change your perspective on how you live a little bit.
I say that, but like even with me making comfortable money, like somewhere close to that range, like for me, 100K do not stretch no more though. That's
No, I
one thing
don't.
I had to
It
say.
don't.
Like I thought that, I got this promotion, I got this raise. I mean, yeah, I'm getting more money, but it still don't stretch like how I used to think it would. I remember when before I started my job and I looked at my salary, I was like, I'm like, this some money. This lasts for weeks, like past the two. No,
Until you get
negative.
that paycheck and you're like, what
Them
are we
taxes,
talking about?
deductions, the insurance, the you wanna buy your stock, your 401k, your uh,
I can tell y'all when we talk about big boy money, right? Big girl, big boy money. When I joined our current company, I got a sign on bonus for 20K, right? That 20K came
damn,
in at 11,
ooh, ooh, mm,
like barely 11, like 11
they cut your shit in
and 20.
half.
You get what I'm saying? So you just know that like the more money you make, the more they take.
You
100%.
blink.
I don't
Yeah,
know who listening in podcast land, but let me tell you this. If you're thinking about making a move for a job that is 20K in difference, when you think about it, that might break down to 50 to $100 more per check. Like, you gotta think about all this stuff because the more money you make, the more they take. So you can really feel good about yourself that you've accomplished this goal of making more money. But if you leave one job and go to another for a pay bump of 20K, you're going from the frying pan into the fire. Your ass is still hot, and you might not get that much more money for your troubles. And you know what you will get more of? Work.
work.
For sure, work.
They can work the
You'll
shit out
get
of you.
more work.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to talk about this. We talking about how money, it can change the way that you act sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to you, do you think money like changes who you are or just who people think that you are? Or is
Are you
it
talking about
both?
me or someone?
Speak from your own experience first.
Okay. All
And
right.
then if you want to generalize it, you can.
So I think perception is big with me. I think people, let me back up. When I was broke, I don't know if anybody knew that I was.
Mm,
I feel like the perception about who VAR is or Travarus is may always be a bit more inflated than the actuality of it. I don't know if people really see me at where I actually am, right? So I think that people may think that I have more money than I do today. Maybe in all ways. Did the money change when I got some money? Did it change me? Nah, but I do feel like I felt more solidified in my potential because you have an idea of what you want to accomplish. And if you get there, you're like, oh, that's dope. Now I can say that I crossed it off my list. But it also was different. I got a little bit of money a little later, like 29, 30, when I felt a little bit more responsible. And so I feel like it did not change me, but it helped me to kind of confirm more of who I am. Now, speaking about others, I've seen a little bit of money. Somebody getting 85K, somebody going from 50K to 85K, which is a big bump, right?
big jump, yeah.
It's a very big jump. But they was acting like 85 was 200. And it's like,
It ain't.
I'm gonna need you to come back home, bro. Right? Like, I need you to come back home. And that person felt like they were the odd man out. They weren't the person in the crew who was making a decent amount of money. They were like last in a sense.
Mm,
So they felt they were catching up. And you know, when you with your people, you may not know how much your people make, but you just assume they're doing better than you or whatever. I've seen that guy, but I've also seen a guy who is getting it 300K. He pull up in the BMW, you know he getting it, and he act like it. I've seen that too. So I've seen both sides, but I choose to just kind of stay in my lane and not let a little bit of money change what I got because I'm not a millionaire, clearly.
no, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, for me specifically, I feel like I've always been a hustler, so I've always had some form of money. Even from like a young age, like, making $8 at 16, that really ain't shit. But in a moment, I had enough money to do what I needed and wanted to do. Same thing, like going to college, like making $20, $30 an hour. That's some good money in
That's
college.
amazing in
That's some
college.
good, man. I remember when I got
Hell yeah.
that offer, it said, one of my first offers that was just like larger was like you getting paid $25 an hour. I was like, shit, say less.
That's big
Okay.
dog.
I was turned. And in that moment, I don't even think it changed who I was because I was still doing all the things I had been doing. I was just able to do a little bit more. But all that to say, if there comes a day where I do get $1 million, 2 million, 5 million, somebody give me 5 mil, it might change who I am. Y'all might, I ain't gonna lie, I'm finna pull up on a yacht or something. I don't know.
Imma tell you what's gonna happen. That's 5 million going to 2.5 after taxes, and you gonna feel like that 2.5 not enough. It's never
I'ma flip
enough.
it.
No, I believe that. It's never enough. But I got a
It
question
isn't.
for you, though. I have a
Okay.
question for you. You talked about going from Alabama with a low cost of living, going to DC area, which has a high cost of living. In that transition, did you find yourself feeling like you had to wear your wealth or wear your success to kinda make sure that people knew that you could fit in this place?
So one thing about me, this is for everyone listening. If you ever see me have some on, know that it don't cost no more than $50. Imma be honest. Y'all, I don't know if y'all for the visual people, y'all see these nails? They look expensive, don't they? $5. There will never, okay, I be trying to put the people on. For me specifically, I have learned how to shop within my means, but to make it look like wealthy. And oftentimes people will ask me, like, you always, you be saying, Travarus, I don't think I'm the best dressed, but y'all be like, you're always so well dressed, or,
Yeah,
all of these things. And to me, I've just learned how to kind of it's put on the not necessarily a facade, but I've learned how to pair things in a way to where they look a little bit more costly than they are, or like,
yep,
have an accent piece or something like that. So for
elevated.
me, yeah, there you go, elevated. So for me, like, I can't wear my wealth because but I'm not trying to go broke. I'm be honest. Now, if my
Facts.
mama gifted me some Louis Vuitton bags that I do care, but that did not come out of my pocket. So in the moment right now, my whole thing is about elevating my look to give like that expensive look without actually having to pay the price behind it.
I get that. I I get that 100%, and I love
Mhm.
that. Shout out to fast fashion because fast fashion will have you
Okay.
looking amazing. Just don't wash it. It's a dub.
Look, no, I will say some of my clothes, I didn't worn them a good bit of time. They still in good condition. It's
I am
all
a
where you
I am a
shop from.
one-wear bandit. I'm a one-wear bandit. There are
My
plenty
friends
of
be calling me that too, though. They be like, "You don't wear your
there
clothes."
there are plenty of things in my closet that I've worn once, and this how I know that it's a lot of one wears because I know where I wore it. Like, I know exactly where I
You do
wore
better,
it.
Javaris.
I
I can't
do,
talk
I
though.
do,
I'm the same
I
way.
do.
My friends, I told my friend the other day, literally, we went to the mall to shop. And I told her, I said, "Look at this outfit." I said, "This is the fourth time I've worn this set. You would be proud." Because she just says I don't wear my clothes more than once, which for some things is true. Some
Yeah,
things, once it's been seen so many like that one time, it cannot be seen again for the next like 4 years.
yeah,
But if it's fast fashion, it don't cost that much, so it don't matter. But let's not promote
I
over
know because the
consumerism. Sorry. The
environment,
environment, we sorry, y'all. We know.
are bad.
Okay, sorry.
We
Okay.
care.
Okay. So we talking about this. Now, I want to relate something that we're talking about to one of our other episodes that if you have not listened to our episode on manipulation, go listen to that cuz that was a good one.
Hmm.
Have you ever used money to manipulate how people see you, whether that's intentionally or not?
I think unintentionally, it goes back to what I was saying. So my
Mm.
mom taught me. My mom, I give my mom all the credit. My mom is the reason why I like fashion, love fashion, why I put pieces together the way that I do. Like it's always been where my mom has been. My sister uh went to college for fashion, all that kind of stuff. She taught us to like, even if you got a dollar in your pocket, look like $1 million, right?
Oh, that's right.
So it always the look of how we pull up is important, and it always is important. So I think that there may have been times where I pulled up looking like I got it, but I don't have it. You know what I mean? So I think the manipulation is unintentional. And I
Mm.
think that um what I've heard about, here's what I know about fashion, right? Somebody asked me a question, maybe this was like 2009. Like, what's the most important part of fashion? Is it, what you have on? Is it the cut, or is it like the shape? And we all got it wrong. The dude was a
It's how
fashion
you
he's
wear it.
It was the cut. It's the
Oh,
tailoring. It's the way that it falls on you, right? Two people can wear the same item, but if I go to the tailor to get mine taken in a little bit, accentuate my arms, make it so that my back is straighter, I will win that competition because it's the way that it looks on me. I've always understood cuts and how I'm supposed to look. Like, it doesn't you don't have to wear it right off the rack for real. I can take a $50 shirt and then go to the tailor and get it taken in a smidgen. You wouldn't even notice. And now it elevates the look. So I think unintentionally, I have manipulated in a way to make it feel like, yeah, work on money. No, he don't. He does not. he he does not. He just dresses well. That's it.
you just that guy. Like and I think also one of the things is like you just exude confidence. A lot of times,
Thank you.
yeah, you do. You walk in the room, you be all, you know,
What?
you do. You be all swagging in and whatever you be doing. But when you walk in, I think you already have like that confidence in your head, and it
Yeah,
kind of it elevates your look naturally too. People always say like you can wear confidence. I
yeah.
think like wearing that confidence also can elevate your look to a certain aspect.
I 100% agree with that. And I think that what your generation calls aura, right?
Mm.
This is not about me. This is about watching someone walk into the room and just owning whatever that thing is. Somebody can be a bit more obscure. They have a style that maybe just works for them, but you like respect it because they're rocking it for whatever reason, right? This goes for people who you may not put them in this garment or this material, but the way they carry, you just like, okay, I
They look
like it.
expensive
Yeah,
just because they
you know
got
what
the
I mean?
confidence with it.
It makes you feel like I like that for them. Whatever they got going on, I really enjoy that. I really
Mhm.
enjoy that.
So for those listening, just because you got your clothes from Shein does not mean that you cannot get them tailored and then walk in and exude that confidence. You
You
can
sure
boost
don't.
that look up.
Because the Afrotech last year got mad compliments on a $20 jacket.
Okay. All my Afro Tech fits with Shein and them people were eating them up.
But it ain't about how much it costs. It's literally about how how you wear it, what you pairing it with, what's
Mhm.
your accessories like. And I also like the trend of men wearing more accessories. I only see it on the guys doing like little get ready with me's and they be got the rings and shit. Like, I like that. It ain't my style, but I like that guys are getting into the accessories as well because that makes your joint a little bit more elevated too.
Me too, but
So
don't outdrip me though. Careful with that. I mean, like, don't try to outdress me now. That's the only thing. Like, calm down.
so for you, you mentioned this and I want to go a little bit deeper. How did you learn to live below your means, especially as somebody who likes nice things?
Who said I'm living below my means?
You told me that you said that you learned to live below.
Learning, not
Okay,
learned.
you acknowledge that you have a quote unquote shopping problem,
Yes.
right? How do you keep that in check knowing that you like nice clothes, you like nice things, but you also know that you have to kinda keep some money for yourself and other things you have to allocate?
My whole thing is this. I'm like, all right, my money automatically goes towards the most important things first. Before I can even touch any money to shop or to do anything else, I make sure that my rent is paid, my utilities are paid. I put the money in my investments and I put the money in my savings account and I paid off as much as I can of my credit card.
That's
That
a
all got
great
those
strategy.
Okay? Those 5, 6 things have to come first. After that, I look and I say, "Okay, what is left?" And I kinda map out like, "All right, this week, I know I already bought the groceries, so that's good, but I may need to I got happy hour this day. I may need to save up for this trip I got coming up. Do I have a little bit of discretionary funds to shop?" And if I do, I'll try to set a budget. Now my issue is that I will set that budget and then I'll be like, "Oh, well, this is real cute." I'm like, "It's on sale." And then I'll go a little crazy. Happened to me this past weekend, actually. I set my budget at 150 at the mall.
Mhm.
I spent 246. But
So you're too kind to yourself. I had that problem too. I'm a little bit too kind
yes,
to me.
right.
You know what? You
You
deserve
had
it.
a hard week. That's what I told myself. I'm like, you've been anxious. You had a hard week. You got a lot going on. I'm like, you should do this for yourself. It's gonna come back. That's what I tell myself too. It's gonna come back, which it always
Yo,
does. But
was speaking of 2 things, the mall and it'll come back. I've gotten the worst financial advice I've ever gotten in my life that has stuck with me in the mall at Foot Locker in 2002.
not you remember the year.
I remember it, we 'cause I wasn't working yet. I was 16 or turning 16 that summer. One of my boys was like, "Yo, just spend it. You get paid in 2 weeks anyway. You get paid again in 2 weeks." Bro, that has
Ooh, that's
wrecked
a
me.
long time.
That has wrecked me a long time. But I remember that like, "Damn, he right. He right.
You gonna get paid again.
Imma get paid again."
It's a cycle.
Bad, bad.
Same thing for me, especially now that I have like a side hustle and I have side money coming in outside of like 9 to 5. I be like, oh, remember you got some side money. I need to stop
You
that.
gotta forget.
I
You
need to
gotta
stop that.
forget.
Because I'm like, that side money needs supposed to be going to savings or investments
Yep,
or debt
yep.
or whatever needs to go to. Meanwhile, I'm like, oh, you got some money on the side. You could use that. That's also my problem. In the it will come back, I know that I have other streams of income,
Mhm.
and that feeds into my thought process of, "Oh, it's gonna cancel out." No, it's not.
Yeah, but I also think getting back to the paycheck of it all, that happened to me when I was operating the clothing line. Just had money on the side, and I recognized that, "Oh, this money on the side should not be used to patch up anything in my day to day, which means that I probably gotta earn more in this thing." And then you kind of find yourself, "How can I earn more in my 9 to 5?" Which makes it so that I can keep my side money. So that's also a cycle as well of, like, you think about how can you make more, and that's not always healthy, right? Because speaking of, like I mentioned earlier about you getting 20K more and it only yields maybe 50 or $100 more per paycheck. The cycle of I got this, but I want this, and
Mm,
I'm willing to do this to get more money. The yield may not always be the same as the return. Like your output may not match what you get in return. And that's why having the side hustles and having the projects and figuring out things to make money on the side is advantageous to you because when you're at a job, no matter how much more money they give you, if they give you 10 more dollars, you gotta do more work. You have to exert more energy. So that paycheck personality is also one of those things that can be snatched away from you at any moment
mm.
unless you establish your own thing. So, so somebody said, don't act your age, act your wage.
Who said that?
Somebody. But it's real. Like, don't, people be like, you gotta dress your age or act your age, like kind of put people on the spot. No, 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 no. You can do whatever you want. But what you cannot do is get outside your wage. Act accordingly because you can be humbled at any moment. Any moment.
And that's a fear of mine. I do not wanna be humbled.
but you don't you're not stunting on nobody. It's for
That's
those who
true.
are coming, like I said, somebody come through, you making 200K. 200K is good money. You got a BMW. If you're single, you're keeping a lot of that money. That 200K feel real nice until $1 million pull up.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So there's always gonna be somebody that makes more money than you. So don't shit on anybody who makes less than you just because you feeling big and bad this day.
Look, everybody got that. Every dog has his day. The person that makes
Facts.
less than you right now may be your boss later. You just don't know.
It's me.
All right. All right. Let's talk about this because you talked about your friend and how your friend was like, the money gonna come back in 2
Yep.
weeks.
Yep.
But we have not talked about how your family has influenced like your behavior or your relationship with money. So like what was that like? Like what was your family's relationship with money? And is there some type of familial or like cultural expectation around money that shaped your spending habits or your behaviors?
So the family that I come from, we practice this. I don't know. People may have heard of it. You spell it Broke. We we've been broke. We I didn't learn any financial aspects from my mom and dad. What I learned was that don't fuck up your credit without
Oh, I remember we did talk about this.
it's like an empty. What do you mean by that? This will mess it up because I messed mine up. This will mess yours up. So everything I learned, thankfully, was in the era that we're in now. It's a lot of self discipline or trial by error. I made a lot of mistakes, which made me feel like, okay, I can't do this again. And to this day, I make a lot of mistakes. Now that I have my own family, what I am thankful for is some of the things that come out of our checks automatically go to the 401ks, the investments, the life insurance, all those things. But yeah, there's still so much to learn in terms of how to operate and what this culture of money will be. What I will say is for my kids, I will tell them and set things up for them so they don't have to worry about the big question mark of what does this mean. So by the time they have consciousness of what it is, they'll have some assets in there. So yeah, I didn't come from any kind of lineage of understanding of the power of a dollar.
Okay, I see.
Nah.
You
How
still
about you?
found your way.
Yeah, look, I will tell you, and maybe I should have started with this. The blessings that have flown that flow and continue to flow to my life is a miracle.
Amen.
100%. How about you?
So my story's a little different. I always say that my experience is split. And I think I am having a hard time navigating both sides because
Okay.
my dad is very just smart when it comes to finances. Like he set up my investments. He's taught me about credit. Like I remember when I first got my first credit card in college, like we sat down at the kitchen table and he pulled out a whole sheet of paper and he explained like credit utilization and all the things about credit and how that works. And so I've known like about my finances since I was say around 18. We really had these conversations about this is how you invest, this is how much you should be investing, like he introduced me to my financial advisor, all of these things. On the other side, mama, I hope you're not listening to this, but my mama liked to shop. Her shopping addiction is mine on steroids.
Mm,
On big steroids. All that to say, like, for her, it's more so about like, if you want to get it, which can come in handy sometimes because if I want something, she'll get it. But all that to say, like I have like a split brain. So I
okay.
know like I try to make sure that I'm saving, I'm investing, hence why I say I try to do that first. But I
Yeah.
also have like this itch to be to buy something else. It's
Yeah.
like every day I get on Amazon, I'm like, no. I'm like, don't click buy. I'm like, I almost bought an $800 camera the other day. For what? What are you? I don't need that.
Yes, you do. Why not?
See,
Spend
that's
it.
what I told myself. And I literally sat on my couch for 3 hours and I went back and forth in my head. I was like, "Should are you gonna buy it?" I was like, "Should you?" I'm like, "The price is inflated, don't buy it." And so I calmed down. I said, "You know what? Let's start you off with something a little bit lower tier. And then if you use that camera, then
Okay.
we can save up and get to $800."
I like that. I like that. I like that.
So, I definitely have had to try to balance the good and the bad on both shoulders because they both be talking equally as loud.
Now I told you I'm gonna hold down my kids. and I'm gonna set them up, but I am not the friend that tell you not to spend. I'm the friend that's like, "Do it. Why
Exactly.
not? Go ahead. Go ahead, do that." Like, if it makes you feel better, then I support that.
And see, and that's my problem.
Mm,
Sometimes I just be feeling so bad. And I'm like, you know what will make me feel better? A new MacBook, which is why I got this new MacBook in front of me. I was like, you know what? I need a new Mac. I'm gonna drop the money right. Did I need to do that? Probably. I'm writing off on my taxes. This is a
what they
business
say,
expense.
what they say on Instagram and TikTok, I really needed a hug, but I bought
Okay.
I went to Bali. I just needed a hug though.
But I needed okay, and that's me too with a trip. I'll be quick to be like, $1,000, 2,000, 3. I'm like, hey, life is hard. I be telling myself that too. Life is hard. You could die tomorrow.
Get the MacBook.
Get the MacBook. Take the trip. Oh,
Yeah.
go do what you need to. Buy the purse. And that's my problem.
So shifting, I think this is I told you I am not the friend that's gonna stop you from spending bread.
Appreciate that.
But have there been times that you have been in a wage discrepancy with a friend?
Mm, mm.
And how did y'all discover the discrepancy? And how did y'all navigate it?
You know, in college. In college, I had more money than everybody around me, other than like the people that were just Nepo babies and their parents was paying their way through. But like people who are working, like grinding, I had the most money because I
Killing
had
them.
like 3 internships at one time. So one paying $25 an hour, the other one paying $20 an hour. I'm getting paid another 18 over here. So that should add
That's a lot
up.
of money. That's a
Okay,
lot of
I got
money.
money to blow. I'm like, what? We'll play that song by Drake. All this to
Mhm.
say, there were some instances, like specifically around travel, where it was like, I have the money to spend, but everyone else may not have that money to spend. And there was an instance where we actually went out and we ended up incurring some additional fees on the section that we had purchased. And I explained to them, I'm like, hey, bro, like I didn't know I'm always the person that plans everything too. So it'd be my card on file. My card is which I need to stop that shit. It is always it's been like that for years. It's always my card on file. And I explained to them like, hey, I know we already paid X amount, but they had, the club, they got a service charge. So
Of
they had a
course.
$250 service charge. Crazy shit.
Them sparkles ain't free?
Them sparkles not free. So I explained to them, I'm like, $250 service charge. Like, and this again, at this point, I'm like 21,
How many of y'all is it?
4, 4 or 5.
Okay. Okay. That's still
So I mean,
50.
it's 50, but like,
Yeah.
come up off it.
Yeah.
Them people would not come up out that money. So you know what? I just ate the charge. I just ate the charge. And that's actually happened to me a few times. Like sometimes I just be like, you know what? Imma eat the charge. I'm like, I know I got
Don't be
I'm
embarrassing me in this club.
what I'm saying. I'm like, I know I'm well off enough to where the money gonna come back. Imma eat the charge. And in that moment I realized that was one of the times when I was like, I have to stop, putting myself on the line
Yeah, yeah.
every time.
Let the L's rotate. Like the L's gotta rotate.
And I still am not good at that. I'm still the one putting my always got my card on file. But in that, like, I just realized in that moment, there are gonna be times when people just ain't got it. And
Yeah.
it's not up to me to pocket watch. But in that instance, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take the L. And I took the L and I moved on by my day. But it was the more so the I think the issue with me is if I take the L in silence, that's one thing. But if I
Yeah.
ask y'all to pay me and y'all refuse, then I'm like,
To me, it's the consideration, but it's also like, you don't have to pay me today because you might not have it today. You might have
right,
enough, right? But like, don't leave me hanging because that tells me about your character, right?
exactly.
And I'm not this person, but I've been the person next to the person. One of my really good friends, he is petty. So if you owe him bread, like he'll be quick to this is when we was younger, he'll be quick to like break you off. You need 100, you got a flat tire, he'll hold you down.
Real
But
shit.
he's funny and he's petty. So if next week you pull up to the spot and you got Chick-fil-A, it's like, damn, that's 15 of my 20 of my $100 right there. That's crazy. You know what I mean?
Hey, you didn't even
He
bring me
gon'
none, bro. Like, damn.
he gonna gun you down, but it in a way, it keeps you honest. You know you can't front on him when it comes to getting give him his money. So, in our friend group, if you owe, you're gonna be joked on until you pay the bread up. But other friend groups, people who operate inconsiderately, it's like, I should reevaluate my friendship with you because I covered the situation and you can't even bring me 50?
Yeah.
3 weeks? A month? I just want it back. I'm not on you, but, like, the consideration for we 21 years old, we're not rolling in dough.
No.
250 could hurt a
It
lot,
did.
you know what I mean? And like you said, you know you're gonna get it back, but on the other side, it's like, I ain't got this 250 to be eating right now, like, what y'all
Yeah,
talking about?
exactly.
Yeah.
Crazy times, but again, I'm one of them people that I'll take the L in silence. But again, to that point of consideration, like if I tell you, like, hey, this was the charge, I'm gonna
Mhm.
need them funds eventually. And or at least like even if you don't give me the funds, at least pay for some of my shit too. Like, can we trade or something? Something like that, you know. Okay.
And this is something I wanna say, I wanna make sure I say this because I had this conversation with my wife yesterday, right?
Okay.
And this is a conversation that I want everybody to hear. I wanna make it brief, but I wanna make sure that this is something that everybody that it sinks in. I think we have a lot of anxiety, and I speak for myself, around job security,
Yes.
money, what my earning potential is, things like that. If we operate like we need to in terms of money and a abundance mindset, when we don't take care of home or assume the great assumption that your job is taken care of, that you're not going to lose money. If we're not solid on the fact that these things are taken care of, we are literally pushing money away,
Mm,
right? Money can't chase us because home isn't taken care of. We are so anxious at home that money is like, I'm scared of you. Like, I'm not going near you.
not just running away.
It's running away. And I want to make sure that I speak this to people who are listening and remind people, don't have anxiety around your situation now, because if you have anxiety around the money that you have today, you are literally not inviting more money to come in. You are trying to hold on to the money that you have for dear life. If you have a child and you keep that child in the house, they're not going to develop. No matter how
Mm,
scared you are of them going into the world and what they may encounter, they have to fall. They have to skin their knee. They have to fall. If you hold your money so tight, you hold this job so tight, you're so anxious about losing it, you're not inviting more money to come inside. So I wanted to make sure I say that because I think it's really important for you to have money chase you. You want to,
I hope that money running fast after me. Please
and
speed
I
up.
think it starts with taking care of and appreciating what we have now and not being anxious.
Gratitude.
Gratitude and being like really, really gracious and realizing, yeah, I do a great job at work. Layoffs happen all the time, but that means that it was supposed to happen to me, for me, what have you. I just want to make sure I say that. Let the money chase you, but you can't let the money chase you until you take care of home and release that anxiety.
Mm. That was a word, Travarus. I
Thank
think
you.
I needed to hear that too, because oftentimes I'm not that anxious about it right now, but in the past I have been extremely anxious about my
Yeah,
job security and just making sure that I can live and survive. And just specifically right now within the current environment, I feel like a lot of people are struggling with that because the economy is just it's been all over the place.
yeah,
It's all over the place. So I appreciate you taking the time to say that because I mean that's true. You have to have that. You have to affirm,
yes,
yourself for more things to come.
for sure.
Well, let me ask you something about this. You
Talk
talking
to me.
about jobs insecurity. And, sometimes when your job is secure, there may be a moment where you getting more money. If you taking care of things at home, you taking care of things at work, maybe you get a promotion, you get a raise. So I wanted to ask, you've been promoted a couple of times now, if I'm correct. Have you ever felt envy or judgment from people at work after you've gotten promoted and gotten a raise?
Yes, but it was genuine. It wasn't
Genuine
malicious.
envy?
Yeah, I think there was, yeah, yeah. I don't know if envy always is bad or evil, right?
Okay. Say
It's
more.
like
That's true. That's true.
it may be sometimes like admirable.
Yeah.
So there was a time, and I told so much this very similar story before when I was at another company. I got passed over for a role that was literally built for me. The architect of the role wanted me to have it, but her superior found someone else to take that job. So, in a sense, the company owed me one, right? So, I wasn't on the radar of everybody, all the leadership members before that job became available, but after, a lot of leadership members were like, "Nah, like, we're gonna invest in you and make sure that you get what you need." So, maybe, like, 3 or 4 months was reward season, and I got a 15% raise. Now, it's amazing. My manager at the time, who was I love her, I really love her. She delivered the news, right? And she was like she's like, "This has never happened in the history of our team." Like 15%, she said, "I've never seen this." Now, it wasn't her call. It was not to say that she wouldn't have given it to me, but it was her superior and her superior superior
Love for real.
who knew that I was like who knew what the deal was. So they was but as your manager, she delivers your bonus and your raise information. So but she was keeping it real. She's like, "I've been here for 7 years, and I've never seen a raise like this." She was super congratulatory, but you know in that moment, it's not envy, it's more like, "Wow, and I'm giving this to my direct report? This is wild." So, I've had times like that. Otherwise, I feel like, my my hard work has made people feel a little way, when I come into the spot and I'm brand new and I'm doing things and I have skill sets that make them feel a little different. They start to act a little funny and like, "Alright, you got a lot of earning potential," but not a promotion because my manager knew how much I was getting. But that was my little scenario that I experienced with that. Has that happened to you with your latest promotion?
I don't know. Everybody was like, "Oh, yes, we're so" that people thought that I should have been promoted long time ago.
Well, that's a fact.
Okay, thank you. All that to say, no, I don't think I get felt any envy or judgment from anyone. I think everyone was like, "Yes," and they were like, "You should get more money because 'cause you're doing more work." I said, "I know that's right."
Well, you mentioned your mom got some LVs that you hoping that she passed down to
No,
you
no,
or
baby, the
three.
LV's right there. They
She
already
gave you
they
some
passed
okay.
down.
So,
They on the door.
you see some LV20s at the office?
Yes, people at our company got money. I done seen some Chanel shoes,
Yep.
Dior bags, Dior pants, Dior sets. I mean, yeah, Gucci, yes,
For all they say about our company
they got money.
and it's people how conservative people are, talk to me about how you see people wearing their money at work.
You know, I will say specifically in, I would say the East Coast
Yes.
specifically. You
Yes.
know what I'm talking
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Them people in New York, them people in my office, because I think it's, like, more businessy, it's not like the flow of the West Coast.
and
Them
it's
people
cultural.
yeah, they be wearing them brands.
Yeah.
So I've seen, again, the shoes, the bags, the pant, the dress, and I think to your point of it being cultural, it's more so like I have to command influence in this space, and I'm going to do so by letting everybody know that, I got it,
Yep.
monetarily and, just in the way that I do my work. And so I've definitely seen people flex. Now, DH Gate is real. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
Look, look,
okay.
I was just you
Okay.
read my mind because you said that I walk into the room with a certain thing, right?
Mhm.
And as much as I like to dress, there are things that I could add that will take me over the top. And then over the top to me is just like it's not necessary. I have an LB backpack that I never wear. I never wear it.
Sounds like you should sell it.
I probably should.
Well, actually,
But
hold on to it. It may even be worth more later.
I never wear it because I don't it's like how many cherries on top you gonna need, my boy? It don't need to be too much. So if I'm already feeling like, all right, my pieces is hitting, I'm straight. Not to say that I need the backpack, but I'll be wanting to wear it, but I don't wanna do too much. I don't ever wanna do too much.
Some people want that status symbol though, and I think that's what particularly on the East Coast is the idea of, in the West Coast, it's more so like quiet status. Like if you know, you
Mhm.
know. On the East
Right.
Coast, people trying to stand out and be seen, and so by, flexing all of these big brands, even with the Montclair coats, all these things,
Yeah.
it's more so a status symbol to try and command the, respect of people in the room.
I got a couple LVs and I feel like this is dumb, but, like, when you travel, I got the duffel. It's not really convenient to travel with, to be honest.
It's terrible, then you gotta be careful with it because you don't want it to get torn up.
Ain't got no f it don't have no feet at the bottom, so you really can't put it on the
You
ground. It
gotta
hurts your
hold it.
shoulder. And so it kinda just sits. So, now that was a gift. I didn't buy that for myself, so I'm gonna keep that forever. But, it's like I'm only taking this if I'm going on a weekend trip, and if I'm going on a weekend trip, it's gonna be with me and my wife.
Yeah, and
I
ain't
mean,
nobody
so it's
gonna
like,
see it.
you know what I mean? So, but yeah, so I do think that in the East Coast culture, people do wear their money a little bit more. And I think that's a nice change of pace based on what the West Coast offers.
Yeah, they just be wearing shoot,
They
they
just be
probably be wearing
pulling up.
expensive stuff too, you just don't know, you can't tell because it's not brand new.
Well, I don't know what the company name is, and I'm gonna feel like an old man, but the company that with they make sneakers and they got stars on them and they all look beat up.
Grey Goose or
Yeah,
Goose the Goose some with a goose.
and I saw those in the office for the first time, and I was like
Well, I know
3
somebody who
years
got
ago,
some.
and I was like, I looked at them and then they're a fly person, but they pulled up with like pre-worn shoes. And I was like, what's up with that? So I looked up the brand and I was like, these
$700.
costs. I was like, okay, so that's an example of how it's quieter, but it still costs bread. Ain't no Gucci, it's no Louis, it's no Prada, it's no Balenciaga. But them shoes ain't cheap.
And not,
Yeah.
and not, and I
And
won't
not
be
for me
buying them
either.
either.
Let's keep it real. It's not
I'm
for
not
me either.
yeah, I'm not buying them. Shout out to I literally walked past the store the other day in the mall, and I looked at it and I shook my head and I walked right on back out. 'Cause anyway, shout out to each their own. To each
Yeah,
their
to
own.
each their own.
Look, okay, who am
But
I to judge?
I want pre-scuffed sneakers.
And don't. Now, as we get ready to close out, I wanna ask you one more main question, which I am really excited to hear your answer here. And so we talked about how the people on the East Coast, they be showing up trying to do they status symbols and stuff. But let's talk about online for a second. Do
Uh-huh.
you okay? Because people be flexing online, and I can't tell if it's real, if it's fake, if it's they. I don't know. I can't tell. Do you think that showing wealth online is performative?
Yes, of course.
The way that you
Of
pushed the mic back, you had to
course.
lean up. All right.
Man, look, how many times have you shown your luxury bags online?
Once it wasn't on purpose. It was just part of the outfit. But like one time,
And how many times could you have shown it?
I mean, I guess every time I wanted, if I wanted to,
Okay. Now take that persona and put it to the side. There are people who have less and show things all the time. And I think it's about manipulation. It's about how
mm,
people can be perceived and how they can think that you have more than you do. When you have things, like real things, like things that are actually of value, I don't think you need to throw it in anybody's face.
right?
You don't have to throw it in anybody's face. My wedding ring is Cartier. You wouldn't know
Excuse
unless
me.
you wouldn't know unless you see me in person.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So I like the things for myself, but it doesn't need to be performative because this is what I enjoy, right? But the complete flip side, we're in the minority. If people got anything of value, they're showing it.
True.
You know what I mean? Like there are people that get their car washed every time and they put it on the gram. Your car is like, bro, you're supposed to wash your car. Like
Ooh, okay.
people do a lot.
Oh well.
They buy a rental and they flex in it. It's just like
Oh, I hate them.
it's way too much opportunity for you to be in the mix for something that's not yours or not earned even. You pulling up in something that's your homeboys. It's not even yours. So yeah, a lot of online luxury
You got a
is
story about that
performative.
one.
Talk to me.
Not that ain't my story to tell.
Okay.
But I
But I
agree.
mean, I'm about to say, like, how you feel?
Yes. All these money spreading money that's your homegirls
That's your
and
rent money.
Okay, that's your rent. Okay, you took your rent money out to spread it, and then you put it right on back in the account to
Right
pay
back.
your rent. You should have just left it in the account. Having a
Don't
place to
matter.
live is a flex. Amen.
It
Okay?
is.
Having a place to lay your head that's safe. I do think a lot of stuff is performative now because and also like online you cannot tell. Hence what you said, like, I don't know if that's your car or if it's rented. I don't
Facts.
know if this your bag or it's your homegirl's. Like I don't know.
Or if it's real.
Or if exactly. And I again, now that there's everything online has to be so polished and all these things that everyone feels like they have to amount or achieve this big and great and grand thing, some stuff that's not even real. So yeah, I definitely think it's performative, especially for like the younger generation. I feel like, especially Gen Z, I've just seen so much stuff where I'm like, why are we doing this? Like, what's going on?
It's a cycle, you know.
It's a cycle, and I don't want to be in it.
I feel it.
Free me.
Get me out of here.
Free me, okay? Because 'Cause I'm not interested. Well, Travaris, we're coming down to the end. So I wanna do one little fun wrap up, one little fun wrap up.
Okay.
What is the funniest or most embarrassing thing you've done with one of your big paychecks?
Embarrassing, embarrassing. I bought a hoopty. I needed a car. I bought a piece of shit car. Like, yeah, it was a piece of shit. That thing lasted all of 3 months. Cost me like 2 racks. It was a refund check that I got from college. Like, I bought a car, it cost me 2 racks. That should have been a dead giveaway, but I ain't never had 2 racks at that point. So, got a refund check for like 4 grand, spent 2 grand on it, bought a hoopty, piece of shit, didn't last that long, was sick. Was sick.
Okay. You coulda saved that money, invested it, and waited and got a better car, but anyway.
Could've.
Oh, Lord. Now she was broken down on the side of the road a couple months after. That's so unfortunate.
Bad,
That's
bad.
unfortunate. Well, thank you all for joining us today.
No, how about you?
Oh, not you.
What you what you BMF on and didn't work out?
I was about to skip me. Shit, I don't know.
Embarrassing though, like, I shouldn't have spent this money type.
No, I don't be buying embarrassing shit, to be honest. I don't do that.
Have you ever regretted spending a lump sum of money?
Mm, have I? Probably yes. On what? I don't know. Let me tell you something. When I buy something, I'm normally happy. There have been very few times where I have purchased something and been like, I shouldn't have done that. And if I did purchase it and be like, I shouldn't have done that, then I sent it back.
Okay, that's real.
And for
I
me,
get
I
that.
don't think I'm like most embarrassing thing. Probably buying some stuff for a man that wasn't worth shit. Yeah, you know what?
See, that's
That's it. You know what? I bought one of my ex-boyfriends a Nike Tech. This is when I was in college. You know how much a Nike Tech, the full set,
oh, we got the hoodie and the
the
pants?
hoodie and the pants,
That's
bruh.
200 something.
Whole time that man was cheating. That's the most. That's it.
Damn,
That's it. Yup. That's the one right there.
my bad, damn, my fault.
See, you made me. You brought it out of me. But you know what? I got that money back because when I found out he was cheating, took that back, sent it right on back to the Nike store.
Give me this.
Give me,
Give me this.
give me that. So I got look. I can't cancel it out. Period. All that to say, don't be buying people stuff before you really know them. But anyway, as we wrap up our episode, thank you all for joining us. We hope that you got some laughs out of this. We hope that you also have time to reflect on how you're spending your own paycheck and making
Facts.
sure that you don't have a paycheck personality because we don't want that for you.
Sure
But
don't.
thank you for joining us, and we will see you on the next episode of Care to Elaborate.